So you have some incredible partnerships. You talk about Walmart. I know you have some great partnerships with some of the centers around Columbus and other cities too. How did you get these partnerships? Is this something you have someone dedicated to, reaching out to different organizations? Do they call you? How are those partnerships built?
Well, it's a combination of a little bit of chutzpah, a little bit of like, okay, let's just go knock on the damn door,
Right,
um,
right.
and researching, you know, organizations whose platforms align with you, but because you are in flyover country, you might have to do a little bit of reaching out to help them know, hey, we're doing something cool here. It doesn't have to be in New York or LA. Or Atlanta or Chicago or DC or Houston. It can also be in the Midwest, and it's about helping them. I also think that it's important that you have to remember that your partners are huge and you are one tiny little dot on their map. So you can't expect them to be hyper responsive. You cannot put on them the pressure of having to answer a lot of questions for you. They want to see the results. They want to see the work, the results, and to see where their money went and what happened in return for that. So first, it's getting the sponsor. That's marketing, that's telling your story the right way, but it's not just about you telling your story, it's about you learning how to tell your story in connection to their story. There has to be that connection. Then number two, it's the constant like communication from you to them without expecting communication in return of just giving you a quick update. Here's what we did this week, attached is a quick video of someone who experienced change and transformation in their life because of what you're funding. And then number three, tagging the hell out of them on every social media post you can find and making sure that every time you can get positive eyes on them or for them to see positive feedback, that they get that because they might be corporate capitalist, like trying to make all the money in the world, but at their core, they want good news. Just like Shabuzi says, we all need a little good news. Um, they want that. They crave that. The prisons are just the same way. When we started going into the prisons, and then Jane Pauley came to town and did a story with CBS Sunday Morning inside the prison, the good news that they got from that, the good vibes that they got from that, they don't always get that. In fact, most of the time they get the opposite of it. Whether it's fair or unfair, they get the opposite of that. And then to have Melissa Etheridge say, "Yeah, I'll come do a concert." I mean, I looked her up, saw she was going to be doing a concert about 45 minutes away, reached out to her people. You can't be afraid to be told no, you know, but you're not even going to get a no if you don't knock. And so, I mean, listen, way back in 1998, when I was in New York and I was at Marble Collegiate and I had my choir, Marble Collegiate Church, and I had my choir there, and the choir had been filling up the sanctuary 3 and 4 times, and I was like, we need a bigger venue. I just walked up to the stage door. First of all, I found out the name of the guy who was managing Carnegie Hall. I walked up to the stage door and knocked on the stage door, and I said, I have an appointment with Chemo Gerald. And they're like, oh, okay, hold on. So they come back and they're like, come on in. So I come in, he goes, I'm so sorry, it's not on my calendar. And I was like, it shouldn't be on your calendar. And then I was like, I just needed 5 minutes with you. And here's the deal. I really want to book Carnegie Hall. And he's like, well, it's $48,000 for you to walk in the door. And da da da. And he kind of looked at me and I was like, okay, let me come back to you. Let me come back to you, but I'll come back to you like tomorrow. And I went back and I begged my boss and I was like, come on, come on. You've been saying you want to do something risky. You want to try. It's Carnegie freaking Hall, like how, but you can't be afraid of having a door slammed in your face because it's going to happen. And you can't be afraid of being told no. But as hard as it is, you can't personalize it because it's not about you or your work. It's about them. It's not aligning with them. But don't throw them out. They may come around after they see it. They may need a little more proof than what you're providing right now. So just keep providing that proof to those sponsors. keep paying attention to what they're doing, what their advertising company's doing right now. So like when there's a brand, a pizza company called Donato's that started here in Columbus, but it's now going throughout the country. And they began, and they've been with us since the beginning, providing about five to $10,000 of pizza a year for different meals that we provide. And when they launched this new program, every piece is important. And we tagged with them. I went to them and pitched this idea of every voice is important, and that we needed to be able to kind of find a way. And I mean, that partnership just gelled. And if you can go to the partner, if you can be prepared when you go to that partner with, here's what you're marketing right now, and here's how we can demonstrate your marketing in measurable, visual, socially impactful ways. Sell to them not what you do, but sell to them how what you do can reinforce who they are.